Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
Blades, and welcome back to the Blades Ramble. Are you sick of seeing me yet? I think this is 3 shows in 2 days. Ridiculous. Hardest working man in YouTube. Yeah, don't worry if you're getting sick of seeing me. It won't just be me today. I am going to present it solo, but we've got a sprinkling of Man Mountain in a new segment that we've got. So there's no rundown today, and I'll explain what we're going to do a little bit later. So how are we all? We are proudly sponsored, obviously, of course, by Action Coach Sheffield, the main channel sponsor. Thank you to them for their continued support. Thank you also to V&B Auto Centres for their continued support as well. And also, as this is the warm-up, thank you to Triple Point Brewery for their support for the channel as well. And we will be in Triple Point before the Oxford game on Tuesday night. That's what we're getting ready for with this ramble here today. And with that, you sort of move past the weekend. To be honest, the more I think about it anyway, the Coventry game, obviously, we're talking about, I'm okay with it. I'm more than okay with it. 10 men for over an hour, and we've got a point at a very difficult place to go. Loved Wilder's post-match. Absolutely loved it. If they'd have run around like that for previous manager, maybe he'd still be in a job. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. He don't pull any punches, does he? And I love it because it's what people are thinking. Coventry fans online, you see them all retweeting it saying, to be fair, either I don't like him, but he's right, or just, yeah, spot on from Wilder. Because it's absolutely bang on. So how is everybody feeling? What I'm going to do today, obviously, I will be doing Born to be Wilder, where we pick our team. But as you'll see, it's the options are getting depleted. And the way we're going to do it, which I'll come on to, obviously, is we're going to pick our team with the players that we know are fit for the game. At the minute, there's doubts still over Kiefer Moore and Brewster. We've obviously lost an L to suspension. There's also doubts over Tyrese Campbell, who got brought off with a tight hamstring, according to Wilder in the post-match. Gus Hamer looked like he limped off. Vinny Souza looked like he were really struggling towards the end of the game. Obviously, we hope as many players are fit as possible. But for our warm-up, I'm going to have to assume that they're not. So we're looking at worst-case scenario, what team we can put out. I want to know your teams as well, so let me know. I'm going to jump into some comments, and then we're going to get into our newest segment, which I'm quite excited about. Bryce starts us off tonight. Dry Bry, good evening, pal. Good evening, Jimmy. Hope everybody more or less unscathed. Hoping so. But predicting 5 changes for Tuesday, rotating. We should beat Oxford. Need a stronger side for Friday. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, pal. Good evening, Jimmy says, Jack, I think we should win, but it's United. Yeah, going into these next 3 games with 2 of our starting 11 out. But our backups are there for a reason. We're seeing the same issue. This promotion race is going to be interesting against some solid teams. I think attacking-wise, it's looking somewhat better. But I think especially away, we don't control as much as we should. Talking at the promotion race, Jack, how lucky were Leeds today? How lucky were Leeds? Like, I didn't watch most of the game. I did keep up with it, so I knew an outline of what were going on. Swansea went in front twice. Leeds go in front then, and it looks like it's won. I'd been texting Connor from one Leeds fan channel who's, you know, he's won this battle, hasn't he? Because he got to text me back with a couple of things. So, yeah, but Swansea equalise in injury time, and then Leeds go down to the other end and nick it. So, swings and roundabouts, this will happen. I still think a point at Coventry is good. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We are technically out of the automatic positions at the moment. All things being considered, we have accrued the most points out of any team in this league so far. So we are still technically top of the league without the controversial necessity of the 2-point deduction. So yeah, I thought Leeds were lucky today, but you know, swings and roundabouts. Are there not more than 3 starters missing, says Rob? I'm going on the assumption, and that's all it is, that there are 3 starters missing. Well, we know the 3 starters that are missing are Kiefer Moore, Ryan Brewster, and Anel. But I think there's going to be doubts over Hamer, Campbell, Sousa. So it could be a very different looking team. And how much does that worry you? We'll come on to that. There are some questions that still need answering with our squad, says Jack. Why are we sloppy in possession and struggle with the press? Why aren't we scoring from set pieces? Why can't we take control of games? Yeah, fair, mate. Oh, no, Sheffield United way and Blades Ramble on. Oh. To be fair, I had a little look and it didn't look like they had anything coming up. So I'm sorry if we're clashing again. I didn't see that advertised. So we have been scheduled for a while, to be honest. And look, sometimes it can't be helped, but I did have a little check earlier and I couldn't see anything. Not on YouTube though, so I probably should have done that. They normally advertise all over social media and I didn't see any of that. Hopefully we get a 2-0 win, Blades. And is the takeover still happening? I think we'll know a lot more, Kelly, in terms of the takeover by the end of this coming week. We'll certainly, I think we're getting closer to a decision. Let's put it that way, from what I understand. And yeah, we'll take 2-0 all day long. Evening, Jimmy, says Martin, don't think Oxford will be a pushover. We'll need to improve vastly on the Coventry display. Yes, I agree. I think we were second best at Coventry, even we 11 men. So it's Oxford, I think, are a tricky fixture, but they've just been hammered 6-2 by Borough. And I won't step on Man Mountain's thunder because I know what he's going to say a little bit later on. So I'll play that out before I touch on that. Oh, come on, what's going on here? What happened there? Bloody Sheffield United are going to benefit from that, aren't they? On to the positives. We joint top of the league. Raksaki seems to be coming along nicely. Campbell looking good. Wish Brooks could get a game or two. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Dave the Nose Leary says, can see some changes for Tuesday. They gave everything yesterday. 3 points is all that matters. So we'll happily take a 1-0. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. 5K inbound. 15 subs away at last count. We were 15 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. How mad is that? And thank you to everybody, because I know a lot of you that are watching, and certainly those of you that are commenting now, will already be subscribed. So it's not just about, oh, we need these extra 15. It's a huge thank you to every single one of you that currently does subscribe to us, because it's absolutely mind-blowing to think we can get anywhere near that number. And it's fantastic. So thank you. Everything considered, a good point, says Daz. We'll be tested by other teams, but at the end of the day, we're all Blades, aren't we? Up the Ramble, up the Blades. Absolutely right, pal. To say odds were against us, it was a good point. I think we'll get 3 on Tuesday, says Jack, but I do think these next 2 homes are must win, including Sunderland. That's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Suter looked a bit jaded, said Jimmy. Absolutely. Could probably do with sitting this one out. But with no NL, it's made things awkward. Yeah, I think that's fair. Don't take Oxford lightly. After that home drubbing, they'll look to react. Yeah, I think that's the danger, isn't it? I think Campbell and Raksaki are creating a good duo. Absolutely right. Raksaki looked great. Campbell is obviously banging form. I thought Gus Hamer linked the play really well with them. He was also involved in both goals. Brilliant. Hope you're well, says Kelly. I am very well. Thank you. I am very well. The Man Mountain himself says, would like to see a bit of rotation with a strong bench. Challenges. Can anyone correctly predict the 11? Tough. Well, I've had a go at predicting my 11. I'm not saying it's the one that Wilder will pick. But first, we need to know a little bit about the opposition. And it's funny that Man Mountain comments, because he's going to be the man that talks us through Oxford. Because for the life of me, could I get in touch with an Oxford fan channel? Could I? I don't even know if one exists. We know contact information. I commented on one of his streams. He didn't get back to me. I got ghosted by an Oxford fan. So our very own Man Mountain has come in with a brand new segment, and this is The View. Oh, don't freeze on me now. Don't freeze on me now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting till the stream returns, because I'm frozen on my screen, which is unbelievably frustrating. Sky, you're going to hear about this, I tell you. There's a Starlink waiting in my future, I think. There's a Starlink waiting. Come on. Come on, boy. Are we rolling? We're back. We're back. Oh, so frustrating. So sorry about that. Right. Before I wanted to stick with it so that there were no danger of it freezing. So this is the brand new segment, A View from the Mountain.
This is a view from the mountain with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man, mountain strong and true. What a man, what a view.
Welcome, Ramblers. It's Paul Mountain here to take you through your pre-match for Oxford United, coming down to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane on Tuesday evening. Des Buckingham arrives with his side on the back of a bit of a good hiding at the hands of Middlesbrough. They were turned over 6-2 this weekend. So it's a case of two things. It could be that they're bang out of form and we've caught them at the right time, or they could be a little bit of a wounded animal. The Kazam Stadium's where they're from. That's where they've picked up most of their points. They've got 4 wins so far this season. I've actually been there. I didn't go into the stadium. I was they've actually got a car park behind the goal, and I parked in that car park to take my kids bowling. So yeah, it's a funny old thing to see. Obviously, it's quite unique, but it served them well. They've had 4 home wins so far this season, and that's keeping them in touch in the division. They are currently sat in 18th position. They've had some good victories. They've beaten Norwich, Stoke and Hull 2-0, 1-0 and 1-0. They've also had very credible draws against Burnley 0-0 and West Brom. So this is another banana skin for the Blades. It's one that most United fans would expect us to turn up and turn these lot over. But like we've said, every single game in this division throws up some can throw you a surprise, can throw you a curveball, and you might not get what you expected. United obviously coming back off after the Coventry game, missing out on a couple of players who may have been injured. Tyrese Campbell, who we pray and hope will recover, because he's been a real difference maker for us in recent games. And Alam Odzic will be out of the game, so we'll probably welcome captain Jack Robinson back into the side at this level. Steady pair of hands, and we're hopeful that he can do something good for us. So yeah, so like I said, Oxford at the moment currently sit 18th in the division, 4 wins, 5 draws and 7 losses. They've scored 19 goals, okay, which is only 2 less than the Blades. But unfortunately for them, they've conceded 24 compared to our 9. So yeah, they can score a goal, and they have got a few guys on that team sheet that we may recognise as well. I remember watching Cameron Brannigan playing for them in midfield. He's an all-action midfield player, likes to tackle, gets up and down, bit of a box-to-box player. I'm sure he'll have a good battle with, again, a hopefully fit Vinny Souza, if he can recover, because he didn't look in the best of health at the end of the game. They've also got Dane Scarlett. He's on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. He's plays up front for them. He switched over with Mark Harris. They've both got 4 goals apiece this season, so they kind of spread their goals around a little bit like the Blades do. There's a few players that we might recognise. Josh McEachran was once a player for Chelsea. We've got Will Vokes, who played for the Pig. He's over playing for them in central midfield, so I'm sure he'll like a tackle in there with some of our lads. Sidney Peck, no doubt, will let him know. Welcome into Bramall Lane with a firm challenge early doors. And then we've got Matt Phillips, who had a little spell at Bramall Lane many moons ago, early on in his career, and he looked like an absolute world beater at the time. I think he's into his early 30s now. Don't know if he featured in the last game. All 3 of those did feature in their last game against Middlesbrough. So we may be able to see some familiar faces, and obviously we'll be looking for Will Vokes in that centre mid. United do enjoy a favourable record against Oxford. 15 victories, 5 draws and only 9 defeats. And we've won 8 of the last 10 against them. And we could be lulled into a false sense of security that they've got 2 points on the road so far with draws at Pompey and Luton, who have also struggled this season. So it's, as far as the bookies are concerned, they've been written off, and we're just coasting to a victory. But we're going to have to be at it. We're going to have to be on it. We don't know what sort of fitness some of our key players and key characters are going to be in, and we're just praying that we can turn up, because I believe that if we do, all the omens point to a comfortable home win. Personally, I would like to think that we'll go and score 2 or 3 goals, and it'll be a comfortable 2 or 3-0 victory. Another clean sheet, hopefully, for Super Cooper in goal. Jackie long throw, slotting in nicely in there, and fingers crossed about some of the midfielders being fit for that game, because we're going to get tested in our squad, and with all these games coming thick and fast, we could do with a really good 3 points at home to these guys, because it looks like an open goal, but these games never ever are, as we know as Blades fans. Fingers crossed for a comfortable Blades win, but we never make it easy. Up the Blades, up the Ramble.
This is the view from the mountain, with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
What a man, what a view. I love that. Thank you very much to the Man Mountain for doing that for us, because I really value, as much as I value everybody's opinion, to be fair, but I really value Paul's opinion. I really value the opinion of Dave the Nose Leary. I appreciate them both coming on and helping us out a little bit and becoming a little bit more involved with the channel. So hopefully you'll get to see a little bit more of them. And I think part of the success of this channel, in all honesty, is because we're just real with you, and there's no like I don't pretend to be professional. I've frozen twice on stream already. I may freeze again. But as part of that, I want you all to feel a part of how the Ramble's made and stuff like that, and feel a part of the community, because it's a channel for everybody. So when I'd made that this morning, I made that that intro and that jingle thing this morning, and I asked Paul before I'd edited the thing down and stuff, but he didn't know about the intro. So I agreed to send him it, but only if he filmed his reaction to it. So again, in the true sense of the Ramble, this is Paul Man Mountain seeing his own intro for the first time. Here you go.
All right, Jim, this one's for you, mate. Let's have a little look.
This is the view from the mountain, with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
Mate, that is ridiculous. Oh my God. Jimmy, you are killing me.
And that, to be fair, that is a reflection of what we're like. So, yeah, thank you to Man Mountain. He's got me out of a bind there, because, as I say, I couldn't find an Oxford fan for love nor money. And we know that Paul knows what he's talking about. Whenever we do 3 Mardy Blades, which we're back with tomorrow for Patreons, whenever we do like competitions on there, and we've done things like that in the past where we'll do lists and stuff like that, he always does his homework and he knows his stuff. So I knew that he would nail that straight away in terms of giving us some information on Oxford. So hopefully we're a little bit more aware of what they can bring now. Cameron Brannigan, I really like. I've got a funny feeling that there'll be a few Blades asking back end of the week, is he somebody we can look at in the January transfer window? Because if he plays like we know he can, he's a really good player, and he's proving that he can hang at this level as well. So yeah, he's maybe one to look at. So we've had the Oxford view. Now you know what I'm here for. I'm going to be doing a bit of Born to be Wilder now, because we are going to pick our team for the Oxford game. So this is Born to be Wilder.
Born to be wild.
So this is Born to be Wilder, and it's a really tricky one this time. This is the part of the show where I will pick my team for the next game. So it's Oxford coming up, as we know, at home at Bramall Lane. A game that usually, and this is not being disrespectful to Oxford, but we would expect to be winning this game. They've just come up from League One. We've come down from the Premier League. We are the heavy favourites in this game, but we are affected by injuries and suspensions now as well. So I'm going to pick the team out of the players that we know are definitely available, or with a strong indication that they're available. It's going to be a very different looking team to what we'd normally pick, unfortunately, because in the game against Coventry, obviously there was the Anel red card, which we have to account for now for the next 3 games. There was also potential injuries to Vinny Souza, who got hit, well, in his unmentionables. I don't know whether that's a groin issue or whatever it might be. Gus Hamer looked like he was limping off as well. And Tyrese Campbell, the man that was sacrificed for Anel, when Anel went off injured to bring a defender on in Jack Robinson, when asked in the post-match, Wilder said it was due to a tight hamstring for Tyrese Campbell. So there's potential doubts there over whether they're available. We still don't think, from what I understand, that Ryan Brewster or Kiefer Moore are available for this game. So it leaves you with very thin options. And with that in mind, this is my team. So I'm going with Michael Cooper in goal, of course. Another great performance from Cooper against Coventry. For me, he is the number one goalkeeper in this league. I'm delighted we've got him. I'm absolutely delighted we've got him. The unshakable back four has been shaken. And we do have a replacement in Jack Robinson, who will likely come in. And he's going in my team as well. So that's right to left. Alfie Gilchrist, Harry Souttar, Jack Robinson, and Harrison Burrows. Harry Souttar didn't have the best of games against Coventry, but he's plenty of credit in the bank, hasn't he? And let's hope he can get back to his best against Oxford on Tuesday night. In midfield, this is where it gets really tricky. And look, if Hamer, we know that Arblaster's out long term. Sousa appeared to be injured, so this is worst case scenario. I'm going with Peck, and I'm going with Tom Davis. And I'm hoping, and this isn't a slight on the players that I'm picking here, but I'm hoping that Sousa is fit, because what a player he's been for us this season. But in the circumstances, you've got to go with who you know is fit. So if Sousa's out, these are the two that play in midfield for me. Similarly, if Hamer's out injured, then Andre Brooks comes into the side. So I'm playing Andre Brooks on the left-hand side. I'm playing Jezrin Raksaki on the right. And I'm playing Callum O'Hare in the 10 and hoping that he can up his performance levels. Because in this team, Callum O'Hare is one of the better players and he needs to start influencing games the way that we know he can. So this is his chance as well to stamp his authority on the team, to let Chris Wilder know that he is the number 10. Why should you play me in the number 10 role? Well, this is why. Why should you not drop me when Tyrese Campbell and Kiefer Moore are both fit again? Why should I stay in the team? And they're going to be backing up our only remaining option up front. If Tyrese Campbell is down injured, Ryan Brewster and Kiefer Moore are not yet available, then it's going to be Ryan O'Neill. And this is a big ask for Ryan O'Neill. Not that I don't think he's capable or will be capable in time. I just think it's a huge responsibility for a young lad. People will point to this and say it just shows how light we are in terms of squad depth. I would have to counter that a little bit. In terms of the striker options, we play one up front and we've got 3 of our 4 strikers out. So this is a huge chance for Ryan O'Neill, who his attributes fit a lone striker role. He's very similar in build to Kiefer Moore, if you like. I think he's a little bit quicker than Kiefer Moore. He's very raw, but we know what talent he's got. We've seen it. We've, scored on his debut for a start. So the team I'm going with is Michael Cooper in goal, Alfie Gilchrist at right back, Harrison Burrows at left back. It's Jack Robinson and Harry Souttar as a defensive pair. Tom Davis and Siddy Peck in the middle. And I'm going Andre Brooks on the left, Jezrin Raksaki on the right, Callum O'Hare in the 10, and Ryan O'Neill up front. Remember, this is worst case scenario. This is if Campbell's not fit, which he could be. He might pass a late fitness test. Sousa might be fit. So if Sousa's fit, he comes in for Tom Davis, who's not started a game for such a long time. Maybe Kiefer Moore and Ryan Brewster are ahead of schedule. Who knows? We can only hope. But this is the team on the players that we know are available. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd change. Obviously, it's not everybody's first choice 11. We know that. But it's working with what we've got available. And does that concern you? The only lineup that we're really certain to be able to put out is to this standard. I think this is good enough to beat Oxford. I do, especially at home. But let me know what you think. This is not just for me. We're a channel that takes in everybody's views. So you let me know. And that were Born to be Wilder.
Born to be wild.
Hell.
So what do we reckon? What do we think then? Because I was putting it together today and I thought, I know this is worst case scenario, but it's not quite at the strength that we'd like. I froze at the wrong time there, didn't I? But it's not quite as strong as we'd like it to be, is it? Let's be honest. So, yeah, let's hope there's a few more players fit than that. But let me know what you think to that team. I'm going to catch up with some comments now. Evening, Jimmy. Hope you're well, buddy. Need more streams from you. I'm bored with not being able to work still after my accident, so another 2 weeks off. Hard game coming against Oxford. Thank you, Nigel. Hope you get better soon, pal. My worry is our options are thinning, says Jack. I think that's just proving it, hasn't it? We're born to be wilder. They've got some decent results this season. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. 15 away at last count. 15 away from 5K. Yes, it's going to be a tough decision. Some players are struggling, says Ray. It seems with slight knocks, but we have a strong bench. Get 6 points. It's got to be the aim. It has got to be the aim. I think it's quite fortunate. And again, it sounds disrespectful to Oxford, but it is one of the games that you'd pick if you were going to be light on big hitters, isn't it? It's one of the games that you'd want at home. I'm not saying going to the Kassam would be easy with a light squad, but I think if we're going to have a couple of knocks and rotate, then this is probably one of the games that you'd want. And you know they've every chance of doing it, like every team has on the day, but it's favourable into Evening. Jimmy says, Bale, would love us to score a few in this one, especially after Borough got 6 at their place. Don't think we quite have the firepower, but much stronger at the back. 3-0 Blades up the Ramble. Subscribe. Thank you, pal. It was lucky, but not what is needed to win the league. We did it against Bristol. Our players can pull these last-minute magic moments. Oh, you meant that with the Leeds thing, weren't it? Evening, Jimmy says, David, let's hope we can get over our injury problems quickly. We need to put Oxford to the sword. It depends who we have playing. They'll want a response after Borough. Stay positive. Blades, like and subscribe. Dublin Blade says, we dug out a point of the game on Saturday, which in the long run could turn out to be a very good one. Oxford aren't great on their travels. Good watch along on Saturday, Jim, barring your dad's shot. Thank you, pal. I feel like we're in a bit of a rhythm now with the watch-alongs. It took a little while, didn't it, to get going, but I've really enjoyed the last couple. Hamer is quality. Those passes, absolutely right, he is, Jack. Can't afford to take risks on Tuesday. Sousa Suter should be rested, says David. Look what happened to Kiefer after that. He put a shift in against Blackburn, came on second half and picked up an injury. Stream's still going fine, says Nige. Oh, so is that so? When I freeze on my end, it doesn't necessarily freeze on yours. So I'm like this, waving about. But thank you, Nige. I need to know that, pal. I need to know that. But thank you. Me and Sky are going to have a serious conversation. We've already had crosswords this week once. Evening, Jimmy says, Mark, let's hope we can follow up Saturday's point with 3 on Tuesday. Hopefully a positive performance going into the big game on Friday night. Mark, who made his debut on the phone in last time. So good to see you, pal. Maybe we see you on 90 after 90, which will probably be Wednesday, because obviously we've got 3 Mardy Blades tomorrow on Patreon. We're at the game on Tuesday, and then it'll be 90 after 90 after that. Again, it's frozen for me. This is ridiculous. Where are we? Come on. I might just do a little dance, because I know Nigel said you can still see me, but I can't click anything. So it's really... There we go. I've got a little trick now that I can do. Hope Moore's playing Tuesday, says Kel. I don't think he will be. Matthew says, sorry, but if we want in top 2, we need to be winning Oxford at home. Anything else is disappointing with some doubts on some of our players. I'm still going 3-0 win for us up the Blades, up the Ramble. Matthew, you're right. You're absolutely right. We need to be winning games like this. No two ways about it. You can't not beat Oxford at home and expect to get automatic promotion. The view from doesn't freeze on me. It has a ring. Don't freeze on me now. Has a ring to it. Yeah. Is that how I announced it? That sounds about right, to be fair, David. Jimmy says, the joys of Sky. I've just had 3 weeks off it myself. No broadband. Utter garbage. Well, to be honest, I'm paying for broadband. I've got a broadband guarantee that they won't let me down. So they've just had to refund me this month. But I don't want a refund. I want to be able to ramble with you lot. So sort it out, Sky. Is Oxford finally getting the smashing we've been looking to give someone, says Jack? I hope so. But it's less likely with some big hitters out. That intro for him was good. And Oxford will come to frustrate us, says Jack. Without Campbell's goals, we've been 9 points worse off, says Nige. You could attribute that to a few other things, couldn't you, I suppose? But Campbell's been brilliant for us. Interesting that when Robinson has played, Burrow seems to get forward a bit more and looks a threat. Great point, Mark, to be fair. Somebody mentioned, apologies because I can't remember it. Oh, it weren't Ricky. It might have been Ricky. on the calling that the left foot, right foot balance that Robinson playing makes Burrows a little bit more comfortable. Maybe so. Let's look at positives that we can bring. Because I could try and pick holes in that. Not try, but I could definitely pick holes in that. But yeah, we'll go with that. Brilliant. What a man, what a view, says Lee. Absolutely. He has absolutely rinsed me with that intro. Jack loved it. Jack loved it. It's staying, mate. It's staying by it looks. The people, you've got to go with what the people want. Jimmy, you're not going to change your internet provider, given the amount of times your screen is for Michael. Absolutely, I am. Give me a chance to get out of this deal. You've no idea how frustrating it is, because you try your best to produce the best quality content that you can, and you're rumbled by something that you've no control over. So absolutely right, Michael. And I apologize for the interruption to the viewing experience. What a man, what a view. Go on, Paul. To be honest, I think he did a great job. That intro, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely right, Nige. This week's a real test for our paper-thin squad, says Michael. Suter's got to go again Tuesday and Friday because we've no chance to rest anyone. I agree with that. You can't rest Suter. We've no decent replacement, have we? Could Gilchrist drop into centre-half and put Sariki right back? It could. It could. I'm not overly comfortable with that, if I'm honest. It's not something that I'm a fan of. I think Gilchrist's too small to be a centre-half. And, you know, he shouldn't be heightist, I suppose. And you can throw Lisandro Martinez or whoever you want at me, I suppose. But I think you need a decent sized centre half in there, personally. A very good choice of team. You should be a manager, says Kelly. I'm just going with options we've got, but thank you for the compliment. End of the day, we're a light squad because they gambled on not too many injuries and suspensions. We've got to expect these knocks, and it's a good opportunity to see where we need strengthening. You don't think Shackleton will start over Tom Davis? Great point. Great point, Roy, to be fair. He may well do. I'm not sure how keen I am on that. I think that again sort of makes us a little bit lighter. But yeah, that probably makes more sense in terms of Tom Davis's minutes. So yeah, that could happen as well. I can see that happening if Sousa's not fit. Raksaki is going to put him on ice, but we say we need to win games like this. That's the same. We're taking a point away with 10 men. Fair dues. And you don't think Wilder picks Brooks over Shackleton? I don't think he does. But that's the team I would pick. And I'd pick Tom Davis in there instead of Shackleton, personally. Does Koulibaly, says Lee, the long-lost man, start midweek and rest Hamer? I don't think Koulibaly plays for us again, if I'm honest. I'll be surprised. He's just been nowhere, has he? Completely off the radar. He came up in our Ramble chat, actually, today or yesterday. We'd all forgotten that or the majority had forgotten they were still on books because it's been that long. I believe Gilchrist is taller than Jackie Longthrow, so I don't know which I'd rather. Oh, really? I'm not sure about that, but yeah, maybe so. Not wrong with your stream, Jim. You're not freezing on me. 3-0 then, Blade, says Dublin Blade. Shackleton doesn't do it for me, to be honest. He's a poor man's Osborne, says Nige. Okay, I finally got to the end of the comments. We're slightly over time, but I'm conscious that I haven't yet given you my prediction. I'm going to go 2-0 Blades. I'm going to go 2-0. I think even with a weakened squad, we should be turning in a performance. There should be players that are taking this opportunity and saying, like O'Hare, really. And I know O'Hare's started the majority of games for us, but he needs to put a marker down and say, this is my place in the side because. So create something, do something, have an impact on the game. We need you. We need the big players to step up, and we need the fringe players, like Tyrese Campbell did, to stake a claim for their own place. So yeah, I'm confident we can get the win. For those that are Ramblers, I will see you tomorrow with the 3 Mardy Blades. So the Man Mountain and Dave the Nose Leary will be joining myself tomorrow night. That's a Patreon special. And then I will see as many of you as I can down at Triple Point before the game on Tuesday. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the Blades!